Mortal Kombat 1 has been dragged through the mud. Every time I cover MK1, there are comments about how it sucks. Hell, I'll cover Mortal Kombat 4 or Armageddon, and there will be comments of, at least it's better than Mortal Kombat 1. I'm telling you, it happens all the time. I have my issues with MK1, certainly. To pretend that there's nothing wrong with it would be just that. It would be pretending. I hate the multiverse aspect of the story. This stuff was played out long before Mortal Kombat did it, so to show up late to the party and be like, hey, we're doing it too! Oh my god, man. Whoever had this idea, I hope they're not writing the next one. I'm sorry if that's harsh, but that's how I feel, and I gotta be honest. Yes, the microtransactions are out of control to a ridiculous and gross degree. 100%. The cameo system. Yeah, nobody ever asked for this. Today's video is not about what's wrong with Mortal Kombat 1. That's tired. It's old news. Today, I'm going to talk about what's good about Mortal Kombat 1. Hell, I'm going to talk about what's great about Mortal Kombat 1. Because trust me, there's some really cool stuff going on here. And if I catch you leaving a comment about, like, well, what about the microtransactions? What about the multiverse? Because you skipped all of the context here at the beginning where I've already gone over this, you gotta get your life together. Stop fast-forwarding all of the groundwork. It's important. This is why you are confused and angry all the time. Alright? Pay attention. From certain characters getting better representation than they've gotten in decades, some of them are better than they've ever been, to extremely high quality, creative fatalities. The return of a finishing move we hadn't seen in 30 years. Yeah, I've got something to say about the guest characters as well. So stick around, grab something to sip on. We're gonna get into what's great about Mortal Kombat 1.
Suck on that! Round 1, fight!
Every video here on 616 Entertainment is made possible by my supporters over on Patreon. If you enjoyed the show here today, consider signing up. You'll get early access, exclusive videos and podcasts and more. Pro Wrestling Tees has the merch. As always, thank you for watching. Can I talk to you about Baraka? Baraka's been around for over 30 years. Debuting in Mortal Kombat 2, this monstrous-looking combatant was labeled as a mutant from the wastelands of Outworld. This specific species of mutant wasn't named yet, and actually wouldn't be for another 12 years. Yeah, Tarkatans weren't even given a label until Mortal Kombat Deception. Baraka would meander through the remaining sequels as a bad guy who would occasionally be killed and inevitably resurrected. No growth, no motivation, no real point, other than, hey, do you have a cool heel who can put over a good guy in this scene? Because we need one. Oh, Baraka? Sick. And this is the first thing I want to celebrate with Mortal Kombat 1. Baraka and the Tarkatans in general, they are lifted here in Mortal Kombat 1 in a way that they never have been before. Being that this is the new era, as Liu Kang likes to call it, things are different. Well, some things are different. And one of the things that has changed is the definition and status of Tarkatans. You see, these are no longer a race of mutant nomads who live in the wastelands of Outworld, murdering innocents and eating flesh just because they're monsters. Tarkatans are no longer a species. Tarkat is an affliction. It's a disease. These were human beings, normal people, Edenians, completely ruined and turned inside out by this awful sickness. That's Baraka's deal now. He's fueled by hatred, not because he's some generic monster, but by the rage of what his people have become, and how they're treated, how they're ignored and cast aside. Look at his arcade ending. He's not like, I want to kill because that's what heels do. He's like, I need to speak with Mileena. I know she has our disease. Look, she needs a cure just as badly as we do. And who sets up the meeting between them? Reptile. And Empress Mileena, upon seeing the destitute conditions of these Edenians afflicted with Tarkat, conditions she was completely unaware of until now, she puts together a plan to help these people and get them on their feet, to make sure they'll be taken care of and accepted, not spit on and neglected. Baraka is now the representative of a marginalized group of people. He is fighting for their rights as human beings while there's an ongoing search for the cure to their ailment. This is a character with over 30 years of history behind him, and never before has he had anything like this to work with. And who else did I just mention there? Reptile. Maybe you saw the evolution of Reptile I put out a year ago. Probably not, because YouTube age restricted and demonetized it. Thanks, guys. That's why I have to censor these deals nowadays. But Reptile suffered this same sort of stagnation for decades. Oh, he's a green ninja who works for the main boss because they have promised to resurrect his species. Spoiler, they never resurrect his species, and then Reptile gets stuck with the exact same storyline in the next game. They did this over and over. Fast forward to Mortal Kombat 1, and we've got Syzoth, a man with a name. He's a Terran. He can shapeshift between his true form and a human disguise, something that is looked at as an abnormality amongst his kind. Syzoth's family were kidnapped by Shang Tsung. Syzoth is a slave to the sorcerer's power, and if he steps out of line, his wife and child will be murdered. I won't spoil the whole thing, but let's just say there's more to the story. This is more attention, context, motivation, and character development than he's ever had before. The third name in there was Mileena, who is now also a babyface. She's a good guy. She's the Empress, the heir to the throne. She has a relationship with her sister, Kitana. And yeah, she's no longer just a botched clone of Kitana, forged in Shang Tsung's flesh pits. Mileena is her own woman, and she's afflicted, like Baraka, with Tarkat. This is a secret that needs to be kept very close to the chest, because if anyone found out, she would be rejected and ousted from her position of power by those who don't understand what she's going through. This constant struggle, this inner turmoil, this is a whole new chapter for Mileena, and I love it. Do you want me to keep going, or can we just agree right now that Mortal Kombat 1 was great to several of our favorite characters? Characters that we had been desperately pleading to get an overhaul for a long time. Do you want me to get into Ermac? Because no, I'll move on. Ermac is awesome, and he's given a whole new deal here too. And that's another one. Now let's talk about the gameplay. Look, I am not a member of the FGC. That's the fighting game community. I don't take part in any of that stuff. I don't claim to. I don't even play Mortal Kombat Online. So I'm not going to talk to you about how this is the greatest, most high-level gameplay Mortal Kombat has ever seen based on frame data and other FGC terms that I don't even know. I don't talk out of school on things I don't understand, all right? I'm not going to speak with authority on, like, the multiplayer competitive scene because that's not my scene. What I will say with authority is that I really like playing Mortal Kombat 1. That's all. It feels good. The combos are simple enough for a jabroni like me to pull off with regularity. I really like how unique everybody feels. I mean, don't try and tell me that Kitana and Rain play remotely similar, because they don't. And every time I sit down with MK1, man, I'm just having a good time. It's fun. It's junk food. I don't come to Mortal Kombat 1 for the same experience that I get from, The Last of Us Part 2. I'm not expecting this constantly gripping, pulse-pounding experience where I'm gonna cry my eyes out at the ending because it makes me think of my own dad. No, I come to Mortal Kombat 1 for the same reason that I come to Tetris, but the same reason that I come to UFC 5 or Tony Hawk. I know that when I sit down with one of these games, I'm gonna have a blast for the next 20 minutes to 2 hours. And again, I will reiterate, if you're a competitive player at a high level and you know for a fact that certain characters are like abusable or worthless and that stuff is just over my head, that's okay. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong about that because, like I said, that's not my scene. I can only speak on what I do and what I know, and I know that I just like hitting fatalities in this game. At this point, I think we should talk about fatalities. How about it? If you're watching the censored version of this video on YouTube, I'm sorry, I have no choice. Remember the reptile video? If you're watching the uncensored version on Patreon, enjoy it and thank you for the support. We don't have to go full play-by-play on these. You don't need me to do my Jim Ross impression over these, but, I mean, Mortal Kombat 1 has some of the best fatalities in the franchise. Creative, inventive, brutal, blood-soaked. You know the drill. I just did a whole episode of this show about how Mortal Kombat has gone through a fatality problem. More specifically, an overkill problem. Very similar to what modern pro wrestling is going through. Feel free to check that out if you haven't. But yeah, overall, I just have to give a round of applause to Mortal Kombat 1 for really bringing the A game back when it comes to fatalities. And I'm not keeping these finisher compliments strictly to fatalities because we got animalities back in Mortal Kombat 1. Animalities were introduced in Mortal Kombat 3, and outside of the variants of 3, like Ultimate 3 and Trilogy, animalities were never seen again. Until Mortal Kombat 1. And holy shit, these are awesome. They're so stupid, man. Just so out of control. Why can everyone turn into an animal? Why? It doesn't make any sense. Like I said earlier, I don't come to Mortal Kombat expecting a Naughty Dog caliber story, but the fact that literally every fighter in this universe can transform into one specific animal is just so funny. I love it. Johnny Cage's Animality, where he turns into a shark in an awesome ode to Jaws. Man, this is top tier. Top tier stuff. Just through the nature of the edit, you've probably already seen a couple of the costumes that I was going to introduce right here. Just pretend you haven't seen them yet, and I want to talk about them now. I want to talk about the really cool skins here in Mortal Kombat 1. First off, I understand that not everybody likes the way some of the characters look nowadays, and I get it. Some of the designs just don't really say Mortal Kombat to me either, so I'm with you. And when I say I get it, I'm with you, I'm talking about the costumes and designs. I'm not siding with the people who are mad that more women and people of color are involved now, to be clear. Some of you guys really got to get it together. But I do understand the approach of like, well, that's not what I want Sub-Zero to look like. Why are his colors like that? Why does he have all these weird, out-of-place tattoos? But this, right here, this is Mortal Kombat. Look at these guys. Oh man, I love this. Now yes, to be clear, many of these costumes do need to be earned through the game's store, either with real money or dragon crystals, which can be earned by leveling up your fighters in Invasions mode. Invasions mode is not what I'm complimenting. I am complimenting the outfits. They look really cool, and I just had to mention Invasions because that's how you get a lot of these without spending real money. I have never spent real money on this game, outside of initially buying it and then buying the expansion fighters and stuff. I have never paid for cosmetics, and I don't intend to start now. I just like these. I love them, actually, even if they're not fully accurate. Ermac wasn't in the 1995 movie. You know, he should not have a 1995 movie skin, technically, but I am glad that he does because it looks cool. My buddy Captain McKay spoke to this same issue recently in a video over on his channel that I highly recommend you check out. Here's a little clip.
Rain and Ermac were repaints of the Mortal Kombat 2 body mold. Problem is, these guys didn't show up until Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, so they should have been done on that style of ninja body, not on the older versions.
And on the topic of skins, I gotta tell you, I really like some of these skins from the new movie that's coming out. This Shao Kahn is badass, stand-ins, and I want it. I don't even play as Shao Kahn, but I like the way this looks. And being that I can get it through dragon crystals I can earn in invasions, it's almost like incentive to play further and stack those up. I'm not gonna do that. I don't have the time or the amount of interest required to actually put in that time, but I like the way this looks. And not for nothing, but this is the first time in quite a while that literally every palette swap ninja is here. They're not all playable. It would be cool if Tremor was playable, but he's just a cameo. And don't tell me I forgot about the male chameleon. That guy, like, barely exists. Give me a break. And to close things out, I have saved what I assume is the most controversial opinion for last.
You seem reasonable. Stand down or die.
Get out of here!
Guys, I like the guest characters. I know some of you hate this shit. You don't want Conan the Barbarian fighting Shao Kahn. You don't... Wait, hold on. Let's just stop on that one. You don't want to see Conan fighting Shao Kahn? What the fuck is the matter with you? Oh, I don't want Homelander to be in my favorite fighting game where I can recreate some of the most crazy shit he's ever done. What are you talking about? Who would ever want to pull off the crazy twin magic switcheroo bullshit Ghostface was famous for in Scream? I would. Same deal for the T-1000, the liquid metal Terminator from T2. Are you out of your mind? And most recently, look, I just saw Superman. Slight spoiler warning for a tiny cameo here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Peacemaker pops into Superman for a couple seconds. Season 2 is kicking off any day now. I want to put the helmet on and blast people. And in Mortal Kombat 1, I can. Don't get me started on how awesome it would be to have a third-person shooter starring Peacemaker. I could talk your ear off. And I know there's an argument that guest characters take the spot of established MK fighters who didn't make the initial cut. They could use these spots to enter the game, but guess what? I don't care. I like the guest character DLC. I hope they keep doing this. And the fact that I can book Homelander versus Omni-Man in a fight to the death is fucking awesome in my book.
Fatality. Homelander wins.
And with that, I begin to draw my appreciation for Mortal Kombat 1 to a close. Is this game perfect? Absolutely not. Big problems, major problems. Certain things suck. Again, multiverse. Go fuck yourself. I hate it. But I can't... I'm tired of seeing the same shit all the time. I wanted to go the other direction. Maybe you agree with me on some of these things, maybe all of these things, maybe none of these things. Feel free to let me know down in the comments if you haven't already, but I would like to take a second to show some appreciation to those who participated when I asked you all what you like and dislike about Mortal Kombat 1. I'm not using any of the dislikes here today because that's not today's mission. Maybe later. But check this out. I'm genuinely surprised at how many of you like the story mode. I know I'm not alone in hating the multiverse part of it, but it seems that you are not alone in liking it. You guys had a ton of appreciation for the new roles given to Reptile, Mileena, and Baraka. There's even a handful of applause for the cameo system. I maintain that nobody asked for this, but it would seem that just because nobody asked for it, doesn't mean nobody liked it. Support for Mortal Kombat 1 has officially ended, with the next patch apparently being the final one. And if you haven't checked this game out yet, hey, it's a lot cheaper now than it was at launch, even with all of the DLC included. Give it a shot, don't give it a shot, continue to hate it, continue to love it. The choice is yours. I just wanted to take a second to shine a light on what is usually a pretty dark and depressing corner of a franchise that we all love. Thanks for watching Mortal Kombat Monday. If you want to check out these episodes uncensored or the history of A Nightmare on Elm Street completely uncensored and unfiltered, you can over on patreon.com/616entertainment. And that's for as little as $2 a month, by the way. You can't get a cup of coffee for $2 a day here in 2025, so I really don't think that's that bad of a deal. How about it? Until next time, thank you for watching, and I will see you soon.